Greenwich to run 800s. This is a lovely little spot at the University of Greenwich. It is a nice square, so you run down here to the far end, about 200 metres, along the far side of this building, again 200, 200 and back here through the car park, taking us to about 850 metres. And because it is somewhat early, no, by somewhat I mean it's still 10 o'clock, even though I was meant to start this at kind of 8:39ish, to do some VO2 intervals, which is always a pleasure. So I've done about 3k of jog with a few strides. I'm going to do some nice drills just to get fully warmed up, and then start 7 by 3 minutes, so just over 800s. VO2. Enjoy. Get like really nervous, like upset tummy, all that kind of stuff before this type of session, just because you always know how important it is. But we're here, and it's my one big workout of the week, so ready to running. So we've got to get it done sooner or later. I hate this stuff. I love it, and I hate it. You all know what. Really quite hard, this VO2 stuff. So cool. I don't know if I fully explained the session for today, but we're doing 7 by 3 minutes VO2 with 3 minute complete rest. Totally back to fresh for each one, so that each interval is as hard as it can be. Sorry, you're probably getting a bit of a wind noise right now. It's quite windy as well today. A little bit of sun though, which is quite nice, hence the sunnies. So yeah, 3 minutes on, 3 minutes rest. I've done my first 3 intervals. I'm gonna have a little pick me up gel. This is really starting to feel it. And we've got 4 more. Almost halfway. So we're going on here. Halfway done. 4 done. 3 more to go. Feeling better than I have done. Definitely starting to perform better and better. Last one. On the cards. Thank God it's almost over. So there it is, 7 by 3 minutes. Each one getting pretty much to my max heart rate, really targeting VO2. It's funny. The penultimate one was definitely the hardest one. And some people asked me for how to get out of the university as I stopped. And yeah, I think I said made more grunts than I did words, but I think they found their way out. Just 10 minutes cool down now, home, and then just 2 more workouts to round off a nice Saturday. Back home after that run, it went really well. That's one of my better VO2 runs so far this off season, and I'm really glad I'm starting to see some improvements there. We were right where we wanted to be, pushing that heart rate right up to the max at the end of each interval, and yeah, the paces were slightly faster than they have been, so that's always nice. I've had a quick rinse off in the shower, hence the slightly different, still plain black t-shirt, and I'm going to make myself a nice little bit of light lunch. We'll eat a little bit more throughout the afternoon, but we've also got a VO2 bike session to do. Alright, after much procrastination, we are finally on the turbo trainer. Today's session, we have got another VO2 session, double VO2 day. Talk more about the kind of thought behind doing double VO2 and the what, why and how after this, once I've recovered this evening. But yeah, today's session we are doing a lovely little 26 minutes worth of VO2. This is a choice session. I think David Tilbury Davis speaks really nicely about this on how they train, if you haven't listened to that podcast. But doing 4x4, 5x4, 5x5 isn't always the best, and I've already done 5x5 VO2 on the turbo once this week already, my second bike VO2 session, and so I'm going to be doing something slightly different. Did 5x5 earlier in the week, so today we're going to do 13 by 2 minutes with 1 minute rest, keeping that 2-to-1 rest ratio, and just like you would for any other VO2, but change it up slightly to keep it mentally and physically engaging and doable, because like he says, there's only so many times you can do 5x5 before you start to lose the will to ride the bike. And so that's what we're doing here, and then next week we'll probably do 2 5x5s again, but today something a little bit different. With that said, we will be working a little bit higher, so we'll be working about between 2 and 4% harder than we normally would on those 5-minute intervals, and we'll see how that's going. We can always adjust up or down as we go through the session, but yeah, should be good fun. Have some banging tunes on when the intervals start and see how it goes. Here we go. Well, 1 down, 12 to go. Should be a piece of piss. Well, that's it. That was pretty tough, but 13 by 2 minutes, 1 minute rest at 345 watts, which for me is kind of mid to upper end of VO2. Hard, but doable, which is really nice. It's probably one of my better VO2 sessions I've ever done. Just cooling down for 15 minutes and then we're done for the day. We'll have some nice dinner and relax. I'll tell you a little bit more about my training philosophy at the moment. And so that's another day of double VO2 training sessions done. Now normally I would go to the gym before having dinner and get that out of the way, but just been procrastinating today if I'm honest, and so that will slide to tomorrow afternoon because I've got that free as well, Sunday afternoon. But the reason But to give you a little bit of insight into the reason why I do these double VO2 days, no matter how kind of disgustingly difficult they are, and trust me, they are pretty brutal. But I think why VO2? Because I went to the lab and did some sub-maximal maximal testing, and it showed that that's really where I could make some improvements, hopefully,
hence that's what I'm focusing on over the winter. But I'll probably make a follow-up video more about my experience testing and what I learned from that and what I'm going to focus on. So if you'd like to learn a little bit more about kind of lactate testing, VO2 max testing and all that kind of stuff for running, cycling and triathlon, let me know down in the comments and hit subscribe so you don't miss that video when I make it. And I guess the second part is, why do them both on the same day? Well, now it means that I have true rest days. I'm not doing a VO2 session 4 days of the week. I'm doing it 2 days of the week. And I feel like my performance isn't worse from the first to the second compared to if I do those on separate days. I feel pretty confident and pretty comfortable doing them back to back on the same day. And I think that it actually improves my performance because now I've got 2 to 3 days off between VO2 days to get more endurance rides and runs and swims in and not have to stress about doing another VO2 session tomorrow. But let me know if you've ever tried anything similar to this before. Do you do kind of days where you do lots of workouts for the VO2 or threshold, and then kind of easy days where you just do mileage, or do you spread yours out? I'd love to hear everyone's opinions. But that's it for this video. Thanks so much for joining me for another training vlog, and until the next one, I'll see you in the next video.